Hi, in this video we will talk about polymorphism. I'll create a new package here. Sorry, not new package, new project. Java project polymorphism. Okay, so let's read our requirement. Right now we need to support dog movement in our application. So let's create the application. So it's going to be something like that. We'll create a class dog, a driver class, and a movement service. So I'll create a class driver with main method. I'll create a dog class, dog, and I'll create a movement service, Okay, in the movement service, we'll create a public method, make it move, and in this case, we'll pass dog here. Now passing a simple object of type dog, and here we'll say dog move. I don't have this method yet, so I'll create this method in dog class, and what this is going to do is just to print dog is running. Alright. In the driver class, I will instantiate the dog class, dog equals new dog, and then I'll make this method static so I don't have to create object of this movement service. So in here, movement service, make it move, and I will pass dog here. Let's run the application. I expect to see this line printed to the console. Let's clear the console. All right, and let's run it. Okay, it still sees my previous project. So let me close everything, clear the console. I want to run this particular application. So dog is running. So I am getting the output that I want. I am satisfying the requirements for supporting movement of the dog. I didn't create this instance variables yet. I might need them later. All right, so now the requirements change. Now the customer comes to us and says, okay, in your code, I want to support dog movement, but now I also want to support fish movement. And in the future, I might have more animals that I want also to be able to move. Let's see. So now we have to create a dog and a fish. And then we need to create another method, make it move, that will accept fish. Right, so let's create fish class. Let's create method move, public void move. Fish is swimming. All right, in the driver class, I have to instantiate fish. Fish equals new fish. And I need to pass it to make it move service. However, the existing make it move accepts dog type, right? it doesn't accept fish type. If we go to this method, it's accepting the dog type and not the fish. So that means we need to create another make it move method that will accept fish type. Let's select this option, create method. So it created method with fish, and we want it to move. Alright, so now if we run this code, we see that we should see dog is running and fish is swimming. So it's working correctly, but now we see the duplication of the code. And if we have more animals, for example, later they will say, now we want to support bird. They already said in the future we might want to support more animals. Void move bird is flying. And then in the driver class, we have to create similar thing again. So only this time it's bird. And we need to create another method here, bird move. But you can see the more animals we add, the more we have to create these methods that are kind of the same. They're doing exactly the same thing, only on different objects. So how can we improve our code? Let's see the error in the driver class. Okay, no more error. How can we improve this code so we can build applications faster in the future? Let's see. So that's when polymorphism comes to play. Polymorphism enables you to program in general rather than program in specific. Right now we're programming to specific. Each object has to be passed, specific object has to be passed. But with polymorphism we will find an answer how to do it polymorphically. So first we'll need a superclass, and we will also implement method overriding. So let's do that. Superclass is going to be our animal class. Created. And now what I need to do, I will copy this method move. I'll put it in the animal class. Before I put it in the animal class, let's see after we modify bird only. Extends animal, save. So now our bird is an animal. In the movement service where we accept bird, I will change it. Instead of accepting bird, I can accept animal now because bird is an animal. Animal. Okay. And now animal move. However, my animal class does not have this method move. So it doesn't know that it has to move. Even though my bird class has this method, my animal class does not have this method. So I need to create this method in my animal class with some generic implementation. Let's create method. So the generic implementation can be animal is moving. Okay. And all my subclasses, they already have specific implementation for each of them. Right? Dog is running, bird is flying, fish is swimming. So it has more specific implementation. And here, now you can see my error went away. So even though I'm processing animal now, this method is is working because I have this method in the animal class right here. Let me run this application again. You can see that here in the driver class, we did not change the code where we're passing bird to make it move. So it's coming here as an animal. So let's run it and let's see, are we going to get this message for the bird, or are we going to get this message for the bird? So you can see that we're getting a child-specific implementation of method move. So even though we're passing bird object to the method that is processing animal, and it's calling move method on the animal object, on the animal class, in the background it still knows that here we are overriding that implementation, and it's going to use the children's implementation. Let me add annotation at override. And also I will add a call to the superclass move to have both things showing. Animal is moving and bird is flying. Let's run it again. I should see it only for the bird because that's the only place where I added this call to the superclass move method. Okay, so let's continue. How can we improve this code even better? So here I have something I found online, the meaning of words poly and morph. So poly means many, and morph form, denoting something having a specified form or character. So you can think about it like having many forms, polymorphism, many forms. So in this case, in our code, our bird here, even though we're passing bird, now we're treating it like animal. So our bird has two forms. It has the form of the bird and the animal as well. Let's see. Let's go back. So we modified this. Let's modify now for the other objects as well. We also have dog, and we also have fish. So animal. So right now it's not working because we did not extend those classes. Right now they're not children classes of animal. So take a look at this error that we have. Let's go to the dog class and let's extend animal. And let's also fix fish, extends animal. All right, let's go back to movement service. We still have the error. Let's hover over and see what is the error. Duplicate method, make it move. So now that we modified the name, the signature of the method is exactly the same. So we cannot have three methods that are the same. And that's how we eliminate duplication, because now we don't really need three methods. We only need one method that will process all our animals, the bird, the dog, and the fish. Let's go to the driver class. You can see that we still call method make it move. This time we pass dog type. This time we pass fish type. And this time we pass bird type. And it's able, only one method is able to process all these different types. So now you can see that it has many forms. This is polymorphism. So one thing can have many forms. And one method also This is one method, but each object knows its own implementation. It's acting differently every time, so many different ways. Again, going back to this polymorphism, many forms. So sometimes it's acting like a here animal sometimes is doing something that bird is doing when you pass bird. When you pass fish, it will do something for fish. And when you pass dog, it will be acting like whatever is described in the dog class, like so. Let's run it and let's see. We should see exactly same implementation that we had before. I run it and it's exactly the same. I can add super keyword here and call move for the dog as well. Now implementation before dog, it will also say animal is running. Let's run it and you can see animal is moving. You can see we get that message from the superclass. Animal is moving. All right, but we can actually improve even more this code. So right now we still have to make a call to the make it move method multiple times, right? So here we have 3 times we're calling it driver movement service, make it move, make it move, make it move. But maybe we can eliminate this logic, the duplication here. Let's see what we have here, how we can eliminate. So one thing we learned in previous tutorials is how to create array list, add things there, and how to pass it to a method. So let's do that here. That will remove, will help us remove this call to make it move method. So let's create array list. And what I'm going to hold in this array list is going to be the animal type. I'm not going to say there I will store dogs there or fish or birds. I will say animals. So any kind of animals can go to this array list. Right. Import. Here we go. So now instead of calling this make it move, I'll say animals add, and I will add a dog first. Okay, and then here I will add the fish. And here I will add the bird to this array list. Alright, so now that we have that, now instead of passing just one bird here, I will pass everything that I have, all the animals in the collection. I'll pass here. I'm getting an error because in my movement service, I'm still accepting only one animal. I'm not accepting a list, array list, but I can change that. I can say array list of animal type is going to come here, animals. Right, and I need to import array list like so. Now the only thing I need to have a for loop here. I'm going to use enhanced for loop. Animals. All right, so I'm looping through the list of animals, and for each one of them I'm calling method move. So I should get exactly same output as before now, because there will be only 3 animals and they will be all processed here. So let me run the driver class, and you can see the implementation stayed exactly same. Only now we call this make it move method only one time. All right, so let's go back and let's read a little bit more. There are a couple of more concepts we need to learn about polymorphism and what we can do. All right, so we will add another class bird. Oh, we already have it. And it is processed in the same way like all the other objects. So we already have that. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see. So now the requirements have changed a little bit more. Now our customer is saying, I want fish to be handled slightly differently than the other objects, the other animals. So in which way do they want it different? In addition to moving, you also have to inform the user of the number of fins on the fish. All right, so we have to change our code to know something about fish. Movement service, so we have to display the movement action, but also for fish we need to also display number of fins. Let's create this variable in fish, private integer fins, and let me add a getter and a setter. So I have the getters and setters. I'll go to the driver class. I'll update fish with some more information, because now I have that variable. I can say set fins to store the information there, and I'll say 2. Okay, if I run the code right now, nothing has changed. Everything is working exactly the same way. So, but here I need to call fins for fish. So get fins. Right now I don't have access to that method get fins because it belongs to the fish class. Our superclass doesn't know things about children classes. Right now it has no ability to know about children classes. And moreover, we don't want our superclass to know some things about children classes when it's not relevant to the superclass, when that information is not shared with all subclasses. That's one problem. Second problem is even if we had access to that and we call get fins on all animals, our bird and our dog does not have fins. So then why would we call something, ask for some information if it doesn't even have this information? So that becomes a problem. So somehow what we need here is we need to know at which time when we are processing fish specifically, when animal is actually fish. So how can we do that? And we have the answer for that. We can use instanceof to check if the current object that we're processing is a fish. So let's grab this snippet of code and put it here. So let's fix a couple of errors here. All right. So we're saying if animal is instance of fish, then I want to do some other logic. And right now I'll just say fish is an animal. Let's run this code. So after fish, I should see fish is an animal. Or current animal is fish, maybe something like that. Current animal is fish. Let's run it. Okay, and you can see current animal is fish. So now we can identify when it is fish. Now we just need to access to the variable. But still, our animal does not know about fins. Okay, my other fix helped me generate this statement. What is happening here, we are downcasting to fish type So we're letting our program know this animal, don't treat it as animal, treat it like a fish. And only for that reason, I'm able to call getFins. If I was trying to call getFins on my animal class, getFins, I would not have access to that method. You see, when it's without downcasting, I cannot get access to this method. So it's saying change to get class, create method getFins, or add cast to the animal. So that's what it did for me automatically here. It created the casting for me, downcasting. So let's run it now. And this time we're able to get fins. I just need to print it out to the user. I'll do it all in one line, but you know that you can store this information in another variable and then pass it here to the println method. Okay, let's run it again. We should see number of fins now, and we said it's 2. So here you go. This is how you can get the information from the children classes specifically. That is about all about polymorphism. If you want to practice a little bit more, try to work with downcasting for maybe a bird. So you can create a method, make a nest, and put something there. Bird is making a nest, and then try to find when in your make it move method it's a bird, the animal is a bird, and then you can write some logic for it.